Alright, you bastards, this is Some-Belgian-prepper, and today I'm going to talk about my 10 favorite food items you can take during your bug out or a hike. And I'm talking about food items that are something that you can eat quick on the go, that you don't need to cook or heat up. It's something that you can directly consume to get and the energy to go to your next point where you're going to take a break, sleep, or you can cook there. But that is to keep your energy level high so you can keep going on. So, but before we do that, if you're interested in detective stories, there will be a link to my first book called Bloody Crosses. It's in Dutch, so if you're interested, take a look, I would say. So, yeah, so we're going to start with 10 items, and yeah, these are personally my favorite. If you can see, this is a piece of beef jerky, and I really like beef jerky because you can store it for long. It can retain good during a long time, even in when temperatures are high they or the moisture in the air is a little bit higher. So if you keep this in your bucket bag, it will not stay good forever. But if you have beef jerky and you can plastify it like something like this and take the air out and plastify it, then it will retain each even more longer. And it's something that is good, that tastes good, depending on what kind of marinade you're using. I always use a um, Worcestershire sauce, yeah, butchered that one, honey, maple syrup, and salt and spicy herbs. So it's tastes good. It's good for morale, gives you quick energy and also long-term energy because of the proteins and the meat, and quick energy because of the all the sugary stuff that is on top of it. And yeah, it stays long, very good. So that's something that I like about it, and it gives you also something to, especially when it's dried longer, something to chew on. It's like, and it has the same effects about gums. By the way, look at that video about the survival uses of chewing gum, and yeah, that has some other psychological and physical benefits. All right, number two of my favorites, and I would say there are so many actually. So I would just say candy. Um, I will warn you, not every candy is has the same effect because a lot of candy on the market, it has the tendency to make you feel more hungry even if you ate a lot. So I would keep it to certain candies like M&Ms because they have peanuts in them, chocolate, sugar. So that's some long term and also some quick sugar energy. But if there is any other candy I would advise you to take, then it would be like gummy bears. So yeah, that's something that you need to choose for yourself. But beware what kind of candy that you're going to use, and also make sure that you do not that you have this discipline to eat some at a time and not just a whole bag in one go. So that's something that you need to watch out for. Uh, Next one, and this is actually something that I often use, and it is oatmeal. But you can use the oatmeal, but I prefer to mix it, if you can see, with milk powder. So when I'm in the field and I want to make a quick meal without having the need to cook, I can just take one of my mugs. I pour some oatmeal with milk powder or just the oatmeal, uh, mix it with water, and I can spoon it directly into my mouth. And yeah, that way you have almost a whole breakfast that you and only one dirty cup that you need to wash out. So yeah, it's easy to make. It gives you a lot of energy, and it can also give you some quick energy if you use something like milk powder. And you can of course mix it with other stuff, but oatmeal is something that you can store for a very long time, even milk powder. So if you keep this in your bug out bag or your hiking bag, then you're ensured of a lot of energy without any effort or without too much of the weight. So number three, these emergency rations. Yeah, these are not the the most tasteful things, but they are in different flavors. So this one is peanut butter, and these are like 500 calories inside of this small thing, and it's something that chew on. But yeah, it's not the most tasteful thing, and it's a little bit bland without, if you depending on what flavor you choose, but it gets the job done. So yeah, I would say this is something that you can keep in your bug out bag or your hiking bag for a very long time under any circumstances, even if your bag gets fully doused in water, or when it gets hot, this will be not be affected. So that's already another good thing about it. Only too bad of the flavors and the texture that is a little bit more crumbly, but you can take your mug and you can put it in. You can crush it a little bit, mix it with water, and then it's more like some sort of porridge kind of stuff. And you can do it like with oatmeal, just put it in. But that's an extra step if you're on the move. So that's something that you need to watch out for. Another thing is, and this is probably something that a lot of people use, and that is chocolate. And yeah, there are two kinds of chocolate I would say that you can use, and that is first of all, use it in their yeah bite form, as you tell. As you can see, this is just blocks of chocolate that I plastified so they will that I can keep them longer. And it is, by the way, black chocolate. It's not milk chocolate, because that will not last as long as pure chocolate. And you can break stuff off and chew on it, let it melt into your mouth, that you and that way you can get energy, keeps your morale up, and yeah, it's a lot of calories for the small amount. And the other thing that you can do is take something like chocolate paste, and that has the same effect, but it contains more sugar kind of stuff. It's more processed, and yeah, you can just take a finger or a spoon and put it in your mouth. And but bad part is it will start to melt directly when it's getting too hot or above room temperature. So be easy that it will not turn into into, how do you say this, into chocolate drinks, so to say, that you don't lose a lot of it. But during colder weather, I can say you can just take a spoon and take one bite, not a bite, but you can put it in your mouth and let it melt that way. But during summer, I would prefer to use something like pure chocolate that you can keep in blocks like this. By the way, if you're wondering why I keep this into a plastified thing in this weird shape, is because I bought a huge chunk of chocolate, and I uh, um, I used an axe to chop it into pieces, and each piece I plastify so to keep it longer, and I only take what I need for certain meals to create, or desserts or something like that. All right, next one, nuts. Also, more people will know it as a mixed trail mix, or mixed trail. I think it's trail mix, and that is use certain different kind of nuts. This is just a whole bag of peanuts that I always keep in my pantry. But yeah, you can make them smaller. But what you can do is you take different kind of nuts, cashew nuts, peanuts, walnuts, and you mix them. And that is for some people more flavorful, and they have some variety, and you can put them in bags, ziploc bags or something like this, plastify them, and that's also good. So that's a good way to keep your to keep some chewing, tastes good, and it's also gives you some quick and also long-term energy. All right, next thing is pemmican. I made a video about how I make a pemmican, and it is still the same pemmican, and it's still edible. Uh, so yeah, I made a video on how to make pemmican, so I would say make sure to watch this one. And yeah, pemmican is actually just meat powder mixed with animal fat, and yeah, you can and dried out. So you can just take pieces, put in your mouth. And this one, I put spices in. I put a little bit too much spices, to be honest, inside of this pemmican. And but yeah, I can still use it, and because of the spices, it's also a little bit something to keep me busy while I'm chewing on top of it. So yeah, can make you a little bit more alert, is what I'm trying to say. Next one is there here I doubt between two types of food. First of all, peanut butter or salted butter caramel. So these are just like the chocolate paste, something that you can just put a finger inside of it or mix it with something like oatmeal or whatever, and just take one finger, put it in your mouth, let the sugar go, get in, get some energy, and just move on. I would prefer the peanut butter, but the caramel with salted butter is contains some other stuff like with the salt or some fats that will keep you going on. So yeah, it's to your own preference, but yeah, I'm going to try this one in the future to see which one I prefer, to make a choice to which one would I pick. Uh, all right, another thing is just canned fish, because they are proteins. You can just open it up and directly eating it. A lot of people don't like the taste of it, and to be honest, it's something that you need to fancy at the moment. But when there's nothing else, this is a good and also kind of tasty alternative. You can warm it up, but you can also eat it cold, and that's the reason why I put it in the side of this video. And it contains 230 calories in only this one small can that is very lightweight. So, and you can also use the oil for some other things like light, for the fire, for oiling your some of your gear. So those are things. And the last one is something that I made a video about. It's in the video about my bug out exercise of 30, what was it, 38 kilometers. And that is something in the form of grog. Yeah, I think it's called grog because I was trying it out from something that they used in the Navy, in the old English Navy, and that is rum, lemon, and just a sweetener for honey a little bit in. And yeah, um, what is the point of this? Oh, and don't forget salt. That is something that I made based on this thing that they drink grog in the English Navy. And what is the point of this, you would say? Well, first of all, you mix some water. The mix I made this in this video and showed you during the bug out exercise. You take three fourths of your cup with water. One fourth of it you mix it with rum. Just put some honey inside of it, and some a little bit of salt. So why would you drink this? First of all, the honey is some sugar for quick energy, the water to dehydrate, the salt is needed for, especially during summertime when you sweat a lot, you lose a lot of electrolytes and salts by keeping sweating. So that's also to replenish that. And the rum is just also a little bit for morale, and it also contains energy, and it just sweeten it all up. So just like I said, don't put too much in of it. I would say put one part of rum for every part of for 3 parts of water, and also the other stuff that you're going to do in it. And don't drink too much of it. It's more, like I said, it's more for energy rather than to keep drinking the same thing. So I would say during the hike, I only drink 2 pints of this mix, and that was just enough to keep me to keep my energy level up. And I did not notice anything of the rum because I drink a lot of regular water during the trip. So don't think about to keep drinking this mixture because, like I said, it's only for energy and for some other benefits like the electrolytes. So these were the 10 things that I use when I'm going to hike or going on a bug out for some quick energy on the move. So I hope this video helped you. If you have any other ideas, please let me know. I'm always eager to learn how other people do things. And like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and see you in the next video. Cheers!